Hey Barbarians, welcome back to another Destiny 2 video. Today we're going to be talking about gold tier medals inside the Crucible and increasing your chances of getting them. We're going to be primarily talking about survivability and doing damage. Now, one of the biggest keys around this is survivability. Your ability to stay alive in a Crucible match allows you to inherently do more damage, potentially, depending on your map awareness and placement, and also help out your teammates therein by getting you more kills at the end of the game. Just starting off here with something I do in almost every control match is just push the enemy team. It's something they don't necessarily expect right off the start. In Destiny, most maps are small enough where you can get away with it. You have time to push their spawn. And you of course spawn with ammo as well as your grenade and melee, so you can at least do some aerial damage. Area damage. In this clip here, this is just another one I got while I was recording, just a nice little triple, nothing crazy. From here on out, we're going to be looking at some gameplay of Burnout and I believe Javelin gameplay. Right here, I'm using Wither Horde and Drang. It's just a combo that I personally love using in this game. It's really fun in PvP, and you'll notice one of the things I do with my gameplay is I try to put out as much damage as I can. I don't necessarily need to get the kill. That's not the most important thing at all. So here we're in 6v6. I'd like to think I have pretty good map awareness, which is learned over time. And that's something I just have from playing thousands upon hours of Destiny and other first-person shooters. And transitioning from Destiny 1 to Destiny 2, one of the biggest changes that came about was getting an assist counted towards, your kill total at the end of the game. So for me, it's not uncommon for me to get 30 plus kills with any loadout I use. I think that's relatively common. I think my game average is 24. And I just put in damage wherever I can. Even if I'm weak, I'm going to poke and help a teammate either fight somebody or fight a group of enemies, especially here in Control when it's objective based. Because my one life per se doesn't necessarily matter as much as helping out my teammates and swinging the state of the battle. Like I tried to push me, shutting him down with Drang. Just killing some people out here in spawn. A couple more people here. This guy's clueless, really. One thing, especially as a hunter, your evasiveness and your verticality of your gameplay kind of throws people off. You add a sidearm into that, something very accurate in air. It allows me to put in a lot of damage. Even if I hit somebody, once in the body with Drang for 37 damage, I don't need to worry about them anymore. They're gonna die, if my teammate kills them. Right here, Wither Horde just doing some aerial damage, finishing them off. In this video, I think I'm using Wither Horde Drang the whole time, which is kind of unfortunate, because it's a little bit easier, in my opinion, especially in 6v6. One of the things Wither Horde lets you do is aerial damage. So, someone could not even be paying attention. You step through it, one tick of Wither Horde is 40 damage, and then your teammates come in and clean them up. Alright, so switching back to the survivability piece. It's something I don't necessarily do well, I'll admit, even though I frequently get 30 to 40 kill games. And that's just because I like being in the action. I'm never one to sit around a corner and wait for somebody else to approach me. I will always go after them. And I'm also relatively confident in my gameplay that I can take any battle, that I put myself in. I kind of panic popped my arc staff there. No big deal, so we find somebody else. Alright, still managed the kill. Drop a little emote here. LOL. Something I also see people do, and right here I'm doing the correct way. I probably end up dying here anyway, but is even though you have your super, it doesn't mean you need to expose yourself by putting yourself in a position on the map where you have no chance of surviving when your super runs out. I got 2 kills there and I decided not to go outside because I knew the enemy team was spawning out there. It's just best in 6v6 at least to stay around your teammates. You don't have to necessarily be with them, but you should be aware of where they are. That is very important for controlling the spawns and knowing where the enemy is going to spawn. And in Destiny particularly, the maps are so small that there's only so many spots enemies can spawn, and you can kind of rush spawns based off off of that as well. That's something I won't go into in this video. It's really learned over time, but they're pretty easy. The more and more you play these maps, the more and more you'll get used to that aspect. So we've talked a little bit about map control, you know, controlling spawns, surviving, which sounds obvious, you know, don't die, right? Something I see fire teams tell people, whether it's raids, PvP, don't die. Okay. But that skill for that individual is learned over time. But transitioning to something that's well within your wheelhouse and control for PvP, moving into Beyond Light, is your ability to utilize your whole arsenal. It's something I continue to try to improve on game after game, and it's something you can spec a build towards in PvP and PvE and have a total blast, as long as you're being aware of the playstyle you're putting yourself in. And what do I mean by this? So the best example the example I'm gonna use is just the hunter I'm using now. I usually use skip grenades, but honestly they get really boring to use, and arc bolt grenades are really satisfying and fun. Allows you to finish off people hiding around corners. So my dodge ability, I'm using bottom tree arc strider, so my dodge is going to make me harder to kill. Something that pairs nicely with something like Drang, and swashbuckler on my Drang. So of course after a melee kill, it improves my melee, or excuse me, improves the weapon's damage. Pairing that with, you know, after my melee kill, I might shade step around so somebody doesn't know where I am. And that bottom tree arc strider, the ability itself almost turns off aim assist, so even melees, they won't auto target you, which makes a very strong option as well. You know, my grenade again, arc bolt, pairing that with a sidearm is something relatively easy. You know, 2 shots, maybe 3 from a sidearm, plus the hit of arc bolt grenade is going to kill somebody. So that kind of run and gunning style into a battle can also help me. Pairing that with a hunter's jump, you know, you jump, you throw the grenade at your feet, etc. And really putting this into practice, I think, is the biggest key when it comes to Beyond Light or Destiny PvP in general. Yes, the overarching theme is putting in damage as much as you can, but the best benefit and way you can help yourself do that is by utilizing your abilities. Whether you have, you know, in this example here, I still have Drang Witherhoard. Seriously, I'm in love with it for a PvP combo, especially in 6s. I put in every single ounce of damage. Of course, Witherhoard, you know, gets the ticks, and as soon as my grenade's up, I'm trying to utilize that. Something from my gameplay I can critique is I know I don't use my melee enough, and that's partly because I don't currently have anything paired to pair nicely with it. Arc bolt grenade plus melee is kind of a classic combo to run and gun, but utilizing Drang plus a melee isn't as ideal, at least for me. That's my playstyle and what works. I just noticed I ran by that Titan hiding in the corner or something. I don't know what's going on there. Anyways, and one of the last points here, moving into Beyond Light, you know, it doesn't matter the arsenal we have or the meta we have, to be honest. It matters where you put your character on the map. In relation to 6v6, which is what I'll talk about just because that's what gameplay is going on, it's imperative that if you notice your teammates are dying and you're like, oh, where are my teammates? Just pay attention to the map, see where they're spawning, and kind of retreat back to them. Because it's inevitable in Destiny that you'll have kind of enemies on one side and your team on the other, sort of, given the spawns on most maps. So in that scenario, you're going to be outnumbered. Of course, you know, if you have a super good time to pop it. But also if you're playing for survivability, going for these gold tier medals, it's more imperative that you kind of retreat back towards your team, get into a safer spot, and wait to push as a team. Especially in something like Control, where multiple enemies could be pushing zone. Again, some key takeaways for this video. Just make sure you use your abilities pretty much as often as you get them. You don't want to waste them. But they should be helping you win engagements in this game for sure, hands down. So that's one thing to keep in mind. And then 2, just really having good map awareness, which again comes with practice, but that will help you a lot in this game. So guys, I appreciate you taking your time to watch this video. I hope it helped a little bit to put things into practice. I hope to do another one of these videos, maybe diving a little bit deeper, maybe a little bit more diverse gameplay on my end, in terms of stuff to watch and practical applications of me getting gold tier medals in game, that you can see how I did it and how I went about it and the weapons I used. Alright, so if you like this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. Feel free to comment below what is your success in order to get high kill games, and I'll see you in the next one.
This war is for territory, one that you can win. Fight another,